Hi guys, Adrian here, Critical Impact Group. Wanted to take a few minutes to talk about the basics of diagnosing and remediating shooter errors because this is a question I get all the time in my instructor classes, specifically my law enforcement instructor classes, because that's something that the LE instructors deal with frequently. Now, I think we really overcomplicate this. I think we spend way too much time seeking out all of the problems and trying to diagnose the problems when really our focus should be on how do we get the shooter to do things correctly. People tend to want this formula. If shooter is doing X on my sheet, well, then the answer is have them do Y. We get those stupid targets that say, if your rounds are going low left, then you're, flinching and breaking your wrist. And it doesn't really work like that, especially considering shooters are all individuals and they may be doing things incorrectly for different reasons. But again, what they're doing wrong really isn't the important part. The important part is what do we need to do to get them doing things right. Telling the shooter all the things that they're doing wrong is counterproductive. That's not going to help. I don't need to dump all of that stuff on the shooter. I need to get them focused on doing things correctly. How do I evaluate a shooter, right? How do I work with a shooter who's struggling? So first of all, there are two things I'm looking for. I'm looking for accuracy, which is really easy. Are they hitting the target or are they not hitting the target? If the bullets are not going in the right place, they have an accuracy issue. And that comes down to two things, because there's only two things that they need to do in order to hit their target. They need to put the sights in the correct place on the target, properly aligned, and they need to keep those sights properly aligned as they break the trigger. If the bullet misses their intended target, it's because 99% of the time they moved the gun as they were pressing the trigger. And then sometimes people have sight alignment issues. Those are the two things that accuracy comes down to. Now, a really good grip, right, will tend to mitigate those shooter errors. A bad grip may exacerbate them. Same thing with your stance. A more stable platform is going to probably mitigate some of those errors. If you have an unstable platform, that may tend to make things worse. Accuracy, it comes down to, right, if you miss a round low left, you miss that round because that's where the gun was pointed when the bullet left the barrel. So we need to figure out how to stop doing that. The other thing I look at is efficiency. I look for moments when nothing is happening. The gun is up there on target. They presented the pistol and it's not firing. Why not? I look for inefficient paths that the gun takes onto target. I look for opportunities when they could be doing something earlier. I look for opportunities when they could be doing multiple things at once. And the way that I start looking for what's causing these either accuracy issues or efficiency issues is I just start looking like individually closely. Look at specific things. Don't just look at the whole shooter. Don't just look at the target, right? I am watching, when is their finger getting onto the trigger and prepping the trigger? I am watching, are they pressing the trigger all at once? Okay, are they prepping it? I am watching how they're gripping the gun. I'm looking for their tension. I'm watching their eyes. I'm looking if they're blinking. I am looking for possible explanations as to why they are moving the gun off target before the bullet leaves the barrel, right? That is going to cover the accuracy component of it. Understanding fundamental technique is really important. I think sometimes instructors struggle with this because they've really never learned, again, what really good technique is. A lot of instructors have learned combat shooting, okay? Combat accuracy. Combat accuracy is not a thing. There is just accuracy. We need to understand what the pure fundamentals are. And then when we see deviations from that, that's a clue that, you know what, that might be what's causing this inaccuracy problem. But again, at the end of the day, spend less time focusing on the problem, spend more time working on getting the shooter to do the right thing. So then the question, of course, is how do I get the shooters to do the right thing? Well, a component of it is certainly ensuring that they are using techniques which are effective, right? But fixing technique often will only get us part of the way there. A lot of times there's a big psychological component in it. I have found this to be especially true when people are dealing with that pre-ignition push, that flinch, so to speak. So there's some psychological things that go into it there. And then that comes down to your ability as an instructor, right? To be able to connect with them and present information and get inside their head in a way that clicks for them. And I'll do another video coming up in a little bit here on some techniques I've used to correct some problems that shooters have that are primarily psychological, and how you can phrase things in different ways or get people into a different frame of mind, or build on some activities or some drills or things like that to try to overcome some of those psychological hurdles that they have. Really good instruction is more than just presenting information for people then to copy. Really good instruction is actually coaching, right? And getting inside an individual's head and finding the ways that the information is going to make sense to them so it clicks and then they can perform. So anyways, hopefully, again, pretty short video. Hopefully that is helpful for you. If you have any questions about this topic, feel free to just drop a comment below and I'll answer them the best I can.